Okay, ready to go. What? Yeah. Need these. The power data is wrong for some reason. Don't get it. Oh, it's not. Excuse me. Yeah, it's wrong.
It's not linked.
No, it's at 20 watts the whole time. I just turned it on.
You might need to reset the connection then. I think you might need to restart the data feed. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, they should give it a new name, right?
Yeah.
So it's just as well. What are we going to call it?
GS5.4 main run. Now, before we do anything, gotta reset the inspiration on there.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Because it's still
Rather
connected.
than go in the menu.
some reason it says it's still connected. Why didn't it say that?
Because this is wrong.
Okay. It says it's connected. Why is that?
Maybe you can tolerate a short dropout. I don't know. That resets that.
It's connected.
Start over.
Okay. So now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to set the time. No, the time is one. Okay, I'm going to start the timer on here at the same time as you start that. Roughly.
What isn't the file you just created here? Okay, we haven't done start yet.
So Alan is just resetting and starting the counters. In the links document, I will add in the links to the software to look at spectrum files, the directory for spectrum files, and also the directory for all of the stuff that's being logged on the LabJack. For those that don't know where it is, you can get the link file from the description to this video. So when we go above 150 degrees, I will switch to profiles and I'll start wrapping. I'm just going to write a protocol for that.
So you wrote most of it in Python.
Yeah, Brian Alderston came down. He had been working on it for
A couple of years.
Yeah,
Right. He wrote it in Python.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty easy to maintain. You know?
Yeah, I wrote my the last Internet of Things thing I was working on in Python. So
Uh-huh. Well,
I have PyCharm on this machine.
yeah, I think it's going to be open source. It's a pretty nice program.
He's got this other section here on the setup where you can switch to manual drive control, temperature hold,
So
drive
you control the pig from there.
Yeah, and it has its own PID here, internal, so
Yeah.
you don't need to have it.
So how did he get the instruction manual on this controller? Is that
No.
Oh.
It's a PID software.
Okay.
It's what you would have in here, doing the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And he's built a power system, but it was too involved to get it functional with Elm's outfit here.
Yeah. The really nice thing we did was to do the GPIB.
Oh yeah.
That's a huge difference to the.
Yeah, he was able to find a library for those commands. So he didn't need to use the Tech Visa stuff. And it's pretty much just serial strings, text strings. Give me this.
Yeah. There's a standard GPIB driver you can use for any GPIB device.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right. Well, he found it in one of the Python users groups.
Oh, okay. So yeah, because you had trouble finding anything for it. The guy didn't even try, so he didn't even help you out with anything.
No, the problem, I mean, I could have handled that stuff if it was just serial interface. The problem was getting it to hook up to HugNet Lab, which was all written in PHP scripts. It ran as a module of an Apache server. That's very arcane knowledge that unless you're an Apache system hacker, you don't have a chance.
So now you're completely off of the HugNet stuff?
Yeah. Okay. And I don't really miss it except for the online graphing. And what we have here is almost as good.
Yeah, and what we've done actually, it's part of the way through. He separated the code away from the data away from the descriptions. But I suggested to Brian that we might be able to create a virtual device which just sits there and looks at the CSV. Because you can export CSV from HugNet Lab. So the idea would be you would look at the CSV periodically and dump the data into HugNet Lab. So you're basically creating a virtual device.
Sure, right, but that would require support from.
Well, once it's done, it's done. Because I mean, once you've got all the parameters you want, which you've got plenty.
Right, but it'd probably cost them a couple $1,000 to have Scott do it. Well, nobody else wants to do it. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what's possible.
Yeah. There's no secret there.
Yeah. We'll see what's possible.
And meanwhile, we have a real-time graphing available. We just can't go back.
Yeah, Plotly must have just added that within the last year or so, because as I recall, the first time I used it, it had nothing for real time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm glad that they did that.
Well, we bought the pro license for it, and it adds a lot of it.
I mean, even back a year ago or so, there was nothing. But I kept reading it, and they had really no support of anything.
Well, I think E356 and Brian were the first people. I mean, I suggested Watley early on,
Yeah.
There's an option.
Right, I remember that, and I went and looked at it myself, and I wasn't too impressed with the real-time stuff on it.
Yeah.
And then I read some of the like newsletters they had because I was subscribed to it, and I didn't see that they were going to do it anytime soon.
Mike. Hello, everyone. Skip just wanted to ask how he turned off the microphone. So I told him it was like So it's about an hour. We turn on the power at 540. Take it to around 111 or so in the core, and it's now at around 640. So I'm just taking some notes here. It looks like the temperature heated up, and either there's some loading going on, or there is a leak. But take it up to below the dewire temperature, the sort of standard recognised one of 179 or something around there, 169, something like that. So keep it below 180, so probably around about 175. Same temperature Alan was loading the AH15 nickel at, and leave it there for a while. That's about 27.8 watt, no, sorry, 20 watts, 20.3 watts, 3.4. Yeah, which is good. Yeah. Do you think we should leave it running longer?
I don't know. It's sort of a trade-off between how quickly you want to load it. And
Yeah, I think we'll take it up to 175 and 4. Of course, we don't have to worry about lithium, aluminium hydride, and lithium, and all those sort of guns in this experiment. Okay. So the end point was
what kind of pressure on like 2 atmospheres.
yeah,
2 atmospheres.
yeah.
I guess we hope that this pressure or the temperature is want to absorb more.
Almost exactly the same.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it were when I read it.
yeah.
See, up to 98.419. And 20.4. Okay, so from calibration, the core temperature is, well, at 40 watts in, the core temperature was 178.6. So we probably want to put in about 38 watts. Okay, you ready? I might go to sleep for a couple of hours.
Right.
Are you going to be able to keep up, or do you want to go to sleep for a couple of hours?
No, I can sleep.
Do you need to?
Do I need to? No, I don't think so, unless you want me to bump the temperature or something.
That's interesting.
It's going back up. You know,
Well,
it's lower.
that's going back up. This went a little bump, and that was going back down again.
Leveled off and now it's dropping again. Well,
It seems to want to load at a certain rate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the temperature is at this level. You just make a decision where you want the temperature, and I'll watch it. You know, and get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to move it, I will. So when you move the power abruptly, it leveled off.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what I might be doing. Yeah.
Well, the heat is creating.
I only did it for very quick.
Yeah, now it's going down steeper.
Well, I would hope it goes down steeper if it's loading.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, if you don't think about, I mean, at some point.
Well, hold on. No.
Leak or not.
If it's a leak and the pressure had equalised, it should then go down at the same rate. If it's the same pressure, regardless of temperature. Well, that's probably not correct.
Well, I mean, if you have a piece of plastic and you heat it up, the pores get bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's, you know, they change.
Yeah.
So.
But where the leak is not a place where it's much difference in temperature.
No.
If there is still a leak then.
Yeah, at some point you convince yourself there's a leak or not. I mean, there's always going to be a leak. No matter what. It's just the level it leaks at.
Mm-hmm.
What Alan would do all the time is just he wanted it to load, so he would watch it until it sort of inflects, and then try to load it some more, give it some more. Well, there's a number of ways you can do it. You can increase it to power, or you can add more hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, you have a fixed amount of hydrogen. Releasing it by heating it. As long as the pressure doesn't go above a certain limit. Well, then 300 psi was our limit.
Yeah.
With the other transducer, I don't know what this one is. But,
it's the same. Yeah.
But you would just want to play it safe.
I mean, there's no extra hydrogen coming out yet. It's what is in the cell is what we are.
I think so.
No, because there's no lithium aluminum hydride.
Yeah. Well, if you want to assume there's no leak, then heating it up should make it want to absorb whatever hydrogen in there faster. And that's what it seems to have tried to do when you increase the power.
Well, it's definitely a steeper slope here.
Yeah, you increase the temperature, and then it suddenly leveled off first. I'm not exactly sure why it did that. Now it's going down at a faster rate. But if there was a leak, the more heat you apply, the more the leak would open up. And that's all assuming you're above atmospheric pressure. Once you go through atmospheric pressure, things they change again. It's really hard to figure it out.
It's quite good. You're right to the end there and pull it in. You're squashing up the.
Yeah.
Literally, if I go there, go like that, I'm squashing it up.
Yeah, it's got a lot of fancy things in there. Nice. So can the people that look at the data are able to do all this stuff, but only when they can't just upload the data?
No, you can also download them.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
But they can't.
Data.
You pay to allow it to be uploaded.
With some of the features we got, I think. Looks like it's going through another inflection.
Well, we did see something like that when the lithium like that as well. Sorry. Seems almost to be leveling off.
It is. It's gone really incredibly. It's just what I'm looking at. Yeah. So let's look at that close.
Yeah, I mean, it's not behaving in some respects. It doesn't
Unless that.
behave like the lithium aluminum hydride did.
Well, no, we're not going to, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a shame we really don't have a lot of good tests to, for the checking.
Well, we have a hydrogen sensor now, wherever it is. So we can just put the hydrogen sensor there and it goes.
Yeah, but I mean, there's such small amounts of hydrogen.
No, it tests, it finds very, very small amount. And it gives a 0 to 10 volt output.
Where is it? Is it
It's just not hooked in.
Oh, okay.
We didn't get time to hook it in. We've got space even on the dashboard.
Maybe we should think about that.
I think that's very good for you and Alan, because now you know
Right.
set up, you can do experiments very quickly.
Yeah, because
Wow, look at that! It's almost like a S shape then inverted.
well, it's just going to flatten. So what's in there right now? So you've got.
So there's 200 grams of QSI at quantum sphere nano nickel. That's 10 nanometers. There is 543 grams of milligrams, right? This is 1 milligrams. 200 milligrams. 543 milligrams of AH50 that's been processed for 175 degrees in 300 psi of hydrogen for 200 hours. Then there is 57 milligrams of 62 nickel, just something like 98.7% pure, 95% or something. We've got the assay. And then there is
This is the oxygen.
yeah, 200 grams of aluminium 18 oxygen. And the 18 oxygen is something like 97% or something, like very high purity, whereas there's normally only 1%. Something like that in nature.
So it's a sponge and it absorbed up some hydrogen during the pre-treatment.
Which is what?
The nickel, you said it was pre-treated at.
Alan treated the AH50 nickel for 200 hours at 175 degrees C, 300 psi of hydrogen.
So it got some hydrogen that way.
Yeah. So it's been preloaded. In tests that we did with Ryan on the QSI, the quantum sphere, 10 nanometer nano nickel powder, that appeared to take up hydrogen very quickly, but it didn't seem to do much. But that was just nickel straight nickel hydrogen. Well, look at that! It's literally like a shoe. So if you can see that.
Yeah, I mean, if it flattens out, that means it doesn't want to release the hydrogen even at higher temperature. Now it's going up.
Yeah, that's interesting. So let's pull that in a bit.
So by going back up, it's releasing some of the hydrogen that it had.
Maybe water's formed and it's boiled. It's definitely an interesting curve. Or maybe the rate, or maybe the AH50 nickel is releasing hydrogen, but the QSI nickel was absorbing it. And now it's got to some sort of equilibrium.
And what's the ratio of the nano nickel? It's like 10% or by weight, is it?
So it's a 1:3 ratio.
30.
So the other nickel, which is comprised of predominantly AH50 pre-treated nickel and a small amount of nickel 62, is 6 units out of 10, and 2 units out of 10 are the QSI quantum sphere, and 2 units out of 10 are aluminium maintaining oxygen. Actually, the fuel load is a little bit under 1 gram because we couldn't get it all in there, so we had to take some out, and we've got that as a testing sample. So it's our single most valuable vial of testing sample, because the 1 gram of aluminium maintaining oxygen was about $1,000 delivered, and that's not anywhere near as expensive as the 62 nickel, which was nearly $1,000 nickel delivered, and that's only 70 milligrams. I mean, it's like a little speck. You would put more pepper on one potato chip, probably.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated stuff to figure out what it's going to do temperature-wise.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
But essentially, it's an alumina.
It's transferring hydrogen
Yeah.
from one to the other.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So you got
the other one wasn't treated, right?
No.
One wasn't treated,
No.
so it's going to go in.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense.
But it also could be reducing it, so there could be some production of water that's boiling off. That'll go down to the cooler end of the cell and get caught by the iron getter to make rust.
Yeah, you
Because it has an iron getter down here.
So I guess you treated it like in GS5.2, you guys treated it the same way. So you put it in under atmosphere, right? You put everything in, you didn't pump, you pumped out. Did you try pumping out? Whatever's there.
This was loaded in air like the paddle itself, because we were going to make pills. We
right.
spent a day and a half trying to make pill presses that would make 1/8 or whatever it is of sized pills, so that we can make the pills in the glove bag and then load them in the glove bag and do that. But you know, we were never going to get the experiment started if we continued trying to do that. So it seems Parkham was quite happy to load it in his lounge. Doesn't seem to be any issue. Of course, he's got lithium and aluminium in there, so those can sequester the oxygen and nitrogen. Ooh, but we vacuumed that out, so hopefully a proportion of the water will be removed. And
Yeah, I just want to mention this in the vacuum issue. We never say vacuum it out. I'm just saying we say pumped it out.
pumped it out. Okay.
Yeah, just so
Did you get that, guys? The term is pumped out.
yeah, I mean,
Vacuum
when you say vacuum, it's a little bit strange.
Mark does sputter the deposition for your day job, right? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. He never actually says what he does.
No, it's just I do a lot of right now. I'm doing a lot of sputtering. Actually, I'm doing lithium.
Oh. Can you sputter lithium?
Not lithium.
Right. Okay.
And, measuring the lithium is difficult.
Yeah, because it's small.
Because, well, with RBS, you can't do it.
Mm.
Rutherford it doesn't. So you have to just do things like XPS or whatever, measure X-ray. Looks like it's now flattening out also.
Yeah.
Like it's finished doing whatever weird thing it wants to do at this
Yeah.
temperature.
Yeah, it's kind of, as the temperature's leveling out, it's reaching some sort of equilibrium. It'd be interesting to see if we get a repeat of this kind of shape here.
Yeah, I mean, if you really have a lot of money, you could do this. You want to make like 10 of these curves with different ratios of the two nickels.
Well,
and then plot it all out.
if we get the advanced PID out from this, we'll save a day, because you won't have to put the mount the thermocouples on. You won't have to mount the thermocouples on. It saves a whole day in preparation of the cell.
So you might even be able to just do this a number of times and get different results enough to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Get it all out of there by heating it up to a certain degree
Yeah.
and go start it over again. And you can probably prove whether there's a leak or not by doing that. Enough of a leak to cause. The leveling off is encouraging as far as the leak goes, because at some point, if it levels off, it never drops quickly. It means that it's holding if it's above atmosphere. One of the problems we have to solve is being able to allow some of the people that are listening to have some kind of feedback. We still have this problem.
Well, we can get them on this chat.
Yeah, I mean, do they know about the chat? They know how to do it?
No, and it's not ideal, and I would have liked to have had more time to get this set up this time. I can see that I'll probably need to come back again.
Well, one thing we could do,
I don't see it, if I don't change my flight.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we could do is, it seems like, the steamer thing, it sounds like an interesting thing, but it doesn't seem like it's easy to really have people go in there.
Well,
comment. I mean, there's a few people that
because this is the beauty of Steemit. You don't have to own the blockchain to be able to access the files. So anyone can create an app to look at the Steemit blockchain. So we can have an experiment running, and people can develop an app to look at it. So there are people developing business platforms, social networks, equivalents of Twitter, and so on. So it basically can replace everything.
Right.
And right now you can actually comment. And so thank you.
No, you can. I went on there, I saw that Skip made a comment to start it off, sort of. And there was people before it, but there's not a lot.
No, but people,
we never had a lot.
People be transitioning.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think one of the problems they're having is maybe getting registered to get in there.
Yeah, that's true.
We got to figure that out. But
I mean, the thing about this chat system is that you have to register them.
Right.
Whereas they can register themselves, so it's many to many rather than one to many. And the point is that being in Steemit, that the contributions are locked into the blockchain. And so for that first blog post, the project earned $1.40, and the people that commented earned
I understand.
They did. They actually earned like 1/3 or something of the money.
Sure.
So the fact that no one commented, the value of the post goes up the more people that comment, and then the people that do the curating, i.e. if they have high value comments that are appreciated because people comment on their comments, they end up getting some of the value of the post that the post secures. So it's quite interesting. So anyway.
No, I think as far as
and when you make a comment, it's date stamped, it's threaded, which is not threaded on any channel other than
right. No, all that is definitely nice. I mean, the problem is we got to somehow make sure that people can do it almost in real time and start commenting on it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's a little bit slow.
Yeah,
and I don't know exactly why. I know I had trouble registering, but
I thought the registration was very simple, and the greatest thing is I didn't have to link it to my social network.
Yeah, I don't even use Facebook.
Well, neither do I. So there are
other than just to go into.
There are applications now that I can't even use because they only give you the option to use if you connect with Facebook on them. They probably own by Facebook.
I come from the world of real chat. I used to chat on the internet. I did email chatting.
Yeah.
And I even do it now. I'm on Pal Talk all the
Right,
time.
right.
Just
Yeah.
not doing much, but it's more interactive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the chat's quite fast on YouTube, but people get orphaned and it's very linear. You get like 20 comments overlaying. You can't have a threaded conversation.
Well, it's hard to keep track of it too. I mean, the way it's set up.
Yeah.
No one, there's only one or two people that commented on one of the feeds.
Yeah, but we've had very low viewing anyway. People are all interested in
Super Bowl or whatever.
Oh well, the rain, Super Bowl, something to do with politics. I don't know. Apparently, there's a lot of that on at the moment, and legal things. Lots of nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's getting really flat there, isn't it?
It might be good for leave it there for at least
To see
an hour to
see if
see
you
if
get a
it drops.
change. Yeah.
If it doesn't drop, then there's probably not a leak. It's in equilibrium because the power's constant, the temperature's constant, and the pressure's constant.
Yeah. So
if it stays like that for a certain amount of time, it tells you the leak rate. That's the way I use it.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. And so
it's in equilibrium.
yeah, if it's constant, we're not leaking, but that's encouraging because it means this is either some sort of reduction of oxides,
well, this is the
or it's loading.
This is the first time it is in equilibrium. It was for a brief moment when you.
Yeah.
At least the pressure was when you.
I'm not sure it's ever
power.
been in equilibrium.
So something was changing still.
Yeah, I don't need to upload big pictures. I was uploading 8 meg pictures. It's like, what?
Yeah, you can get carried away with some of the software, being easy to do, and then suddenly.
So there you go.
Yeah. No, that's quite nice. The setup. But like you said, you have to register people for it instead of the other way around.
Yeah. So as I have it, this could be for internal chat.
Yeah.
And I can actually, what I wanted to do was to have a web browser looking at a web browser window of this, and that gets put on the live stream, so people can see what we're chatting about internally.
No, I'm sort of always thinking of ways to get people that are out there to interact more. We've always had this problem where either the YouTube feed, people, at one point we had I remember we had 50 people on the YouTube feed. Yeah. We couldn't really, we were so busy doing other things, we couldn't interact with them. There was always a problem.
But to be fair, some of the followers and some of the individuals in the space know so much,
right? And
also they know so much about what we're doing and have done that they can answer themselves, and that's really great.
I mean, it's really keep bringing in
to the
new
people.
Is something we've got to make sure we do it in some ways.
But thank you to Brian for doing this, and he says that he's happy for us to open source it. Obviously, that if people wanted to build something like this, then there'd probably be some level of customization and. Yeah,
I'm amazed that somehow Alan was able to. He was able to pull Alan away from using the HUDNet, because every time I would talk to Alan, he said, I want to keep the HUDNet.
Well, the HUDNet is brilliant. I mean, because it had this fantastic graphing.
The problem is,
but we didn't know that the graphing could do this at this level, because it's improved.
Right, it did.
Yeah, and the HugNet graphing is still better from the point of view you can take a time range, average it to what you want, and compare a few things and download the data. So that's better. And so, as I said, I've discussed with Ryan, we can get a little module that looks like it's a cron job.
Yeah.
Looks at the CSV that's going up to the cloud drive, and creates a virtual instrument. So it's like it's receiving from a HugNet device, but it's not. It's just dumping it straight into the SQL database that the HugNet is looking at. Yeah. That is kind of the best of both worlds.
Sure.
Because what you've got here is something that someone can just go and buy off the shelf. It's got a lot of experience and support. They can use Python, which is a standard programming language. There's modules to fit almost everything. Plus, they'll be able to start with 2 years of Brian's work. Thank you, Brian Elveston. And the work that was done to get all of these different instruments in there. And then it's a case of, you know, if someone wants some deep customization, they're not willing to learn Python. I think Brian's time, you know, if I was I've paid people to do programming for me in the past, so more than £500 a day, like £750 a day.
The going rate is like anywhere between $100 and $200 an hour.
I would say that the work he did was worth at least $1,000 a day. At least $1,000 a day. And to be honest, customization of this for someone else's, it's like a couple of days' work, and you know, someone could mess around for months and months and months and months and months, and there would be nowhere, right?
No, I think this is a great way to do it. The only other thing I can think of is, for example, there's some people that are working that would like to, working with the group that would like to make this super cheap, the whole thing, you know, make it work on a Arduino or a platform.
But then if they've got this already connects to Plotly.
Yeah,
there's a free account on Plotly. There's a free account on dashboard.io. So you can do quite a bit of this. And then
they just need the part that hooks to the laptop.
Yeah,
is another module.
It's just a different module, don't you? Because he's done all the things.
Well, I think that would be the next step if Brian was looking for something else for the to do, maybe not right away.
No, I think someone who's more hardware-minded could deal with hooking Brian's work into that, and that would be a great contribution.
Yeah,
to the
next step would
great
make it work with
contribution to the community. So yeah, in case people haven't understood, we're going to open source Brian's work, and that is really down to Brian's whatever. The donors that helped pay for Brian's flight, which was about $400, that's probably one of the biggest contributions to the project, because it's given us this wonderful data representation. And really, honestly, if we didn't have all that data representation, for instance, last night, where that very spurious event happened, got me worried that we're all going to, because it just kept going up, and it was like, am I going to fry myself?
Especially when it happens at night when you're the only one.
Yeah, and it's like, I just want to go to sleep. I'm so tired, oh my God. And I was so tired last night, and I haven't slept much since. But anyway, it was like, oh my God, I can't go to sleep because this is going thermonuclear. Anyway, so, but it looked odd, and the fact that it was 0 counts for so long, and I was looking at the SpecTech actual interface, and it's like, well, that doesn't look like 0. So something's wrong here.
Yeah, I didn't catch that part. I only caught. I was like, I got up in the middle of the night, and I happened to see you guys were running, and I was just like, typing something out and went back to sleep.
Oh dear. But I mean, it was just, and I wouldn't have. And then I tried to get to sleep. I was going to go to sleep, and then I thought I better just look at the muon detector, because see if anything happened to happen at the same time, and it did. It's like, oh no, oh no, it shouldn't be doing anything like this now.
So we got something interesting here. It looks like it's starting to fade down here.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's constant.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to oscillate, or is it going to?
Well,
so that could be our true leak rate. or it's going to oscillate and go back up or level off.
Well, like I say, if it did do some reduction and you created water and then that boiled, well, it's probably already in a state of boiling at the temperature, isn't it? And then it migrates down to this end of the cell, and then that suddenly condenses on the water getter.
Yeah, there could be a little bit of
rust.
an oscillation over a long period of time.
Well, once it's getted as iron oxide, then it's going to cause the pressure to go down slightly because it's pulling water vapor out of the air. So
well, I hope it levels off, or I think it's gonna, if it levels off, it means there's no roasting.
Yeah. I'll take another spot on that, and there's a slight drop.
But yeah, we got to set things up so we can maybe detect the hydrogen.
Yeah, I'll show you the hydrogen sensor. I actually suggested it to Brian, and then he bought 3. I don't know why.
Well, I actually, I'm working.
And then he bought 3, and he brought them down. He gave them. That's the thing.
Yeah. We have a board. I have a beagle bone where we're putting these various detectors on.
Oh right.
So maybe if I show this, if you can give me one of these.
Well, we only have the one, but
okay.
if you want to.
How much is it?
I think it was about $5.
Yeah.
It's like comically little.
Yeah. No. I maybe I'll write down the number and see if he's messed with this one on the beagle bone.
But I think you just give it like 12 volts or something, and then it gives a 0 to 10 volts output. You just put that straight into here.
Right. They probably already have it.
I think Brian set it up. I mean, it's here. It's spare counter. It's set up a counter.
Okay. I don't see it. Is this maybe for meter fruit?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
One of the problems we have is Europe seems to be attracted to the Arduino, and then over here, or the Raspberry Pi, but over here in the United States, it's mainly the Beagle one. So eventually, what needs to be done is somebody needs to make an interface for the some people need to make it for both interfaces. Because I know that even though the Arduino has been out-trumped in a lot of respects with the Raspberry Pi, and that there's a lot of people that it's cheaper, and a lot of people want to make it work with that.
Yeah.
To make it cheaper.
Well, it's not a lot down, is it? It's definitely a. We haven't got down to.
Can you blow that up so we can just see how?
I can blow that up for you, sir.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I can do.
So it doesn't seem like it seems like it's falling, but it's not. It doesn't seem to want to level off yet. It's still got that downward trend, and it's even getting more downward at the moment. So there's still something going on. Not quite in equilibrium. It's either a leak or it's going to flatten out. I think it's, I don't know, what temperature is it? You didn't want to go any higher than what, 179? Is it?
Not at this stage, but
so what are you at now, 130 or something?
It should be around about 175 in the core.
Oh, right now.
I mean,
Well, then this is probably a good thing to just leave run all night and see what it does. It's going to level up. If it's leaking, you're going to have a really nice plot to show the leak rate.
yes, there is that. But we'll get that if we go another power step anyway.
Well, then you'll be well alone.
Yeah.
It's up to you. One thing is, if you go up in power, you might not be able to reverse it. You know, so,
Well,
depending on whatever happens.
the critical is between, for me, is between sort of 204 and 355, 358, something
It's a
like that.
trade-off between how much time you're going to do the
Yeah,
experiment.
well,
I don't want to push you either
Oh,
in that
I-
direction because it's a tough decision.
yeah, I would really like to. Part of this experiment is effectively replicated in 5.5 because all of the low temperature stuff is the lithium in there will become lithium hydride as soon as it melts, pretty much, and then that'll be solid till a lot of hundreds of degrees.
Are you confident that Alan will be able to remove the cartridge?
There's no cartridge.
Nothing.
No.
So
That's why we don't want it to sinter. So we're either punching it out, digging it out, or cracking the cell and dropping it out. And that's one of the reasons why we only wanted an alumina, pure alumina reactor, because the worst that can happen is you get a few fragments of alumina, and given the fact that you've already got 200 milligrams in the fuel of alumina.
yeah, and it also lets whatever radiation that happens come out easier.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Come out, 'cause it's
There will be
still
some,
blocking, so-
yeah, there will be some attenuation. On that note, there's nothing of any interest going on in that realm.
Yeah, one thing that when you try to measure radiation is you always have to say to yourself, you know, if you see something, that chances are it probably isn't there.
Well,
You know,
that
you
was
have to kind of take it, you know.
that was kind of like I was going to myself, no, not now. I really don't want to be seeing this, because there's just the annoying thing is.
Well, you suddenly think about how many years and how many people have actually done experiments, and then you say, well, they never saw any radiation, so.
Well, that's not
I'm not
true,
gonna see-
because apparently Piantelli and Picardi did see 511 kV,
Yeah.
and that's why at the first test of Rossi, as far as I understand it, he had two scintillators set up opposite each other to look for the 511 kV.
Yeah.
But of course, as far as I understand it, that had so much shielding around it, you wouldn't have seen anything.
Well, there were some
Even if it was
problems
pumping it out.
in the early Piantelli paper. You know, I looked at it closely,
Yeah.
especially at the time when you were
Yeah.
wanting us to go in that direction.
Yeah.
So we went, but there was, I mean, they saw other peaks that were showing up, which
Yeah.
didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, it sort of threw me off because I was looking for peaks. You know,
Well,
doing the experiment instead of looking at, you know, anything else.
Yeah,
so I completely blew by me when something happened. You know, even if it happened in front of my eyes, I wasn't looking for it. I was looking for peaks. You know?
Well, I have to thank Echo for.
Oh yeah, you know, he went back and. Well, he had asked me whether I saw anything, whether I thought there was anything that happened. And I said I didn't see anything. And then he went back and saw that something was there. And that's a mystery still. You know, it's a lot of things could cause that.
There's a lot of things that can't cause it, though.
True, but you know, as someone who's, like I said, you know, who's radiation,
Yeah.
you know, and like you saw, you know, it's just an electrical connection could cause some weird thing.
Yeah, but
Low voltage connection.
it just doesn't cause that.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy to mention this, but like I was saying that before, I don't know if I was saying that to you, but we had measured back in '89, but we had seen, you know, it's same situation, 2 in the morning.
Yeah, right.
The detector, the VF3 counters went crazy. Did I mention this to you?
Yeah, you said they were interleaved.
Yeah, and only one set went off, so we
Right,
knew
yeah.
it was, and that was on purpose.
Yeah.
It was John Bagwood's design, because he knew that the connector, the high voltage connection, it's just a coax cable,
Yeah.
can get dirty,
Yeah.
and it can do that. It can make some spurious connection if it isn't clean. If the connection isn't clean, electrical. And lo and behold, that's what happened. So we had to take it apart and fix the connector.
Yeah.
It was back. It was all working. You know. But that was your fake signal.
Yeah. Ever vigilant.
But you need
No,
to
I
verify it with more than one detector. That's
The thing is, it was very disappointing to me last night that this thing was not there at all, and then it was. And the most important thing is, I just didn't see any reason why, and all the experience I had before, why it should occur at just over 100 degrees in the core. It just didn't make any sense to me, none at all.
Yeah.
And so, and obviously the Geiger counter wasn't seeing it either. So, you know.
Well, we had problems with the Geiger counter.
Yeah, but this is not that's not a crappy
right.
320 plus. It's a 7317. It's like, and it's the closest it's ever been to the reactor. It's directly underneath it. In fact, it's closer, I think, than the head of the sodium ion detector, and it's really sensitive. So the fact that nothing seemed to be going on there, and actually, so.
But you did see a correlation with the CCD, right? That was the thing.
Yeah, that was just really annoying, because I finally decided that this wasn't anything really to get too, you know, interested about, and then I saw that, and it was like, oh god, oh no, I don't need this. I want to go to bed.
Well, that was the first image you gave of the CCD. I didn't even know you had.
Oh well, I'm gonna. Well,
CCD on there.
No, well, I'm gonna give. Like I say, when I get some time, I'll do a big sheet up with the 80-something hours with nothing. Then all of the tests with the various radioactive isotopes, and there isn't that many, but there was quite a few with cobalt 16 and then sodium 22. That interestingly enough, there wasn't much with cesium 137 and our barium 133 source. The energy of those photons just simply weren't strong enough. So I'll give that, and then you'll see that they're much smaller tracks. They are almost all curled, but yeah, they're nothing like the one that was at that point last night. It was just, oh my god, this is just really annoying, because mentally I was trying to dismiss that last night, and my reasonings were twofold. One, I couldn't see the same kind of level of spikiness on the Spectec.
Yeah.
And two, I couldn't see three reasons. The LN7317 wasn't doing anything, and during that time, Mr. Goodrice asked me to put the silver on top on the theory that it might create more, but it didn't. It created less, which means it did tell me more, because it told me that scintillator, that Geiger tube was working properly. I was able to attenuate the signal, which if there was lots of signal coming in 511 kV, it would have definitely seen it. So it didn't, and therefore there's that. And then the third reason is the fact that it was flatlining. It was flatlining for 3.5 hours, and then suddenly you have a signal.
Yeah.
It's like nothing at all for 3.5 hours. Don't think so. So, and literally I was about you know, brush it under the carpet and just try and go to sleep, and then.
Well, I didn't even know what you were doing in the past. I just kind of woke up and I saw some stuff happening.
The really annoying thing, the super annoying thing was, it's like, all we have to do is put some lead in front of the lead well, and when it stays the same, you know, then we can forget it, because it's an artifact, right?
Well,
So,
you know, it could be the angle that one detector sees
anyway,
whatever's
listen,
happening. You know,
so the really annoying thing is, just before Skip put the lead well in, it reached its absolute peak, twice the highest of the other peaks. And when he put it in, it completely collapsed
because
down.
he was bumping the connector. So.
But maybe, but so it completely collapsed down, and it was like, oh no, oh no, this really might be something.
That's when I think that's when I pressed the button and it went live. I saw it skip moving in the screen.
Oh god, it was so annoying.
And what was
I just
annoying on
wanted
my
to go
end
to
is I was
sleep.
trying to get your attention and I couldn't do it. I didn't know how to do it.
I just wanted to.
So I went on the ECAP world and I posted there. But it's too hard to really do.
Right, well, we have got a drop down here, and this might be the real lead rate, if there is a lead rate. Or it might just be a slow.
Now, what's the PSI absolute?
30.
30. So you're about 2 atmospheres, and so that's a good healthy amount above.
So I think
it
I'm
off.
going to take it to around about 200, and because it's flattened out on the temperatures, I think I'll take it to through debye, through the sort of traditionally understood debye, to I'll take it to 200 and let it sit there. And then what we need to do tomorrow is, as soon as we get up, start warming up. We can warm it up in fairly quick steps, depending on what we see with the thing. Then we need to cool it down to about 220 degrees in the core. And then we need to turn the power on full whack until we get through the curing temperature, absolutely as fast as we can get it to go up.
So that's like more than a day more on experimenting on it? Is that it? A couple of days? Or?
Well, I think we can do that cycle during the morning. Mm-hmm.
Get above the purity.
Yeah, and then just let it sit there. And what I'd like to do, if Alan is willing, is to build 5.5, because we're actually, well, certainly the.
You guys didn't load it yet.
No, but no, because 5.5 needs the fuel from this one.
Oh,
this is the
right.
The bulk of.
Yeah, you can't just throw that out.
No. I would describe it.
Fact,
I would describe it like gold dust, but it's actually more valuable.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah, no,
Get it back because it's still going to be way more than.
Well, frankly, the grains of nickel 62 were quite large. So, so basically, yeah, not much I say. Really, I'm tired.
Yeah, get some rest.
I'm gonna bump this up. I'm just gonna make a little summary video of what's going on here. So. Oh, we've got an event detected. Is it real event or is it just the USB glitching?
I like the bubbles.
It's just a USB glitch. It's not very nice.
I don't see any bubbles.
Yeah, because I have to change the calibration at 250, so going to 200 to 15.
So this is the shape. It looks like this since the start of the run. So this is loading or leak, and then we bump the power up, double power to 40 watts. Roughly, it's 30 something watts, 38.5 roughly. And it kind of like bumped up and flattened down, then came down, and kind of looked like it was flattening off, but it's still dropping here. So you can see the sort of shape we got there. Anyway, we're going to take it up to target around about 200 degrees in the core. And it is 7:45 UTC. Okay, so it's about an hour. It's an hour and 3 minutes. Both times is an hour and 3 minutes. What's the chances? 158.7, 158.4.
Bumped it up.
Uh,
We haven't. You're about to.
yeah, and the this is 150. And is 38.4. 38.3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap in our neutron detector
and put U356s back in so it's ready to go tomorrow, and take the thermal away. Don't know. The reason being is that they need 4 hours to reset.
They do this now?
Yeah, I'm thinking. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what's
Yeah, well, if I'm going to go to sleep for a reasonable amount of time. That's the aim.
So you don't have both of them running.
Well, no, we'd lose the thermal. Well, listen, I'm going to take the E356s out of the way. Reset that.
At one point, we were going to make like a hole through the lead for those guys because the storm get all right through to it.
Uh-huh.
But with all the other neutron detectors, that's necessary.
No. Okay. So,
The curve is very similar to what would happen before,
really?
right?
I'm sure.
Went up and then
Right. 200 degrees in the hole. T-core. So 50 watts. So now 48 watts. So it is 7:52, and I'm going to take the power to 48 watts. Well, I think all the sensors are beautiful now. They're all doing something and they're all doing it very consistently.
Can you expand it at the beginning a little bit? You know, bring back some more of the data from the beginning? You can't?
No, because I had that issue, we turned it on and
Oh, no, that's fine. See, I mean, this curve is very similar to this curve. You know, you've got this rise and then this linear fall off. It's already starting to go up, right?
yeah.
It's going up more than it did last time. So Alan never set up the other computer, did you?
Which one?
You guys bought like 2 computers and
Oh, he swapped his one out, but what it was is yeah, we tried to fight and tried to get it working, it just wouldn't work. It's like, right, I've been through this process a number of times where I've got a week or 2 weeks to do a job, and I've ended up spending 6 days trying to get a computer to run the software because we haven't got a computer that's suitable. So 3 days in, it was like, right, find something. You found it on Craigslist, we went and got it. We got 2 computers for $600, like i7s, huge amount of RAM, memory, everything. Some Silicon Valley company upgrading their computer, so it had Windows 64 Professional on there, everything. So it was really good value for the donor's money. And
I was just looking for it. Where is it? The other computer. I don't know. At one point he was going to replace this one.
Oh, you're here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now it's replaced. That's one Brian developed on, and now it's replaced it.
So I mean, you guys got 2 of them.
It's on the table.
Oh,
the one that used to run the spectrum.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. Actually, yeah, he did that under 5.3, I guess. When you crash out, sure. Crash out. it's going to be pretty predictable what it's going to do.
Well, you say that, and I agree.
Let's get around go off and then
Yeah, but it's, you couldn't exactly call it the same response as the last one.
I think there's just three things it's doing the same. You know, you've got your there, and then you've got that one. And then
No, that's when we put the power up last time, and it did that.
Oh yeah.
We're doing the power here, and it's gone.
No, I
away.
agree. I agree. There's some kind of a pseudo phase transition or something happening at that point, but now it's done, and now it's just going to behave. It's going to have this typical response.
To be fair, somewhere point up here, it went for 100 degrees, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly what, you know, but I think it's gone now, and what it's going to do is eventually it's going to get that curve and go back down. It's still rising. And that's what you're going to see the rest.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to leave it running. I need to start a new stream in a little while. Just so it does 8 hours.
You can run it for 24 hours. Just press the button and let it go.
You want to set it up?
I don't think I could set it up. It'd probably take me about 2 hours to get it set up. I had it all running.
So did I. It used to be so easy.
No, I have all the linked pages, you know, on my web browser. But since I haven't done it since May,
Yeah.
It's
well. Are you going to be able to help Alan do some experiments?
Yeah, probably, sure. It's really him. He wants to do experiments. I'm not
well,
really
there is that, but you know, maybe we've been blessed with another month of rain.
Yeah, well, it probably is going to taper off, but yeah, it makes it harder for me when it rains because I bicycle.
Well, yeah, just stay here.
Well, I can't. Yeah, I mean, the last time he allowed me to use his truck, which was nice. I could get back and do things. How many viewers do we got there?
11.
Wow, that's an all-time high. I think we had. I've never seen 11.
What?
For 5.4.
Not for 5.4, but then who wants to watch 8 hours if I can't get the leak fixed? Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, we had the same problem. I mean, but I think Alan knows where it's leaking now. It's just somehow he's going to have to look under an inspection microscope.
Yeah.
After he cleans it and make sure at the point where he makes contact.
You know, to be honest, I would do what he's done as standard procedure now.
Yeah.
Put
He has
the
that's
bond
the
agent in there. Yeah, well. Right. Okay, guys. Just because we haven't got the RTM keys server running, I'm going to switch to a new stream. The stream you'll be able to find by just going to our YouTube channel or by going to the links document, which was linked in the video you're watching. And so I will put the new link in there for those that are not familiar with how to find the new stream. And then for those of you in Europe, it would be very nice if you could keep an eye out for anything interesting going overnight. Because I want to get some sleep. Last night was not a good night for me. And the night before that wasn't good, actually. Okay, guys, they're going to switch streams now. Just letting you know.